Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Farhana.
Walaikum assalam.
Respected participants, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. This is Asim Hameed, Director Training, Punjab Higher Education Commission, and we are going to start the last day of this week. And this is week 1 of this promotional link training of lecturers from public sector colleges of Punjab. This is the first session, and we have with us Dr. Farhana Khurshid. She will be discussing about online learning platforms and websites, particularly MOOCs. MOOCs is massive online courses, open online courses, actually massive open online courses. And before Dr. Farhana starts, I would take this privilege to introduce Dr. Farhana to all of you. Dr. Farhana Khurshid is currently associated with Fatma Janab Women University, Rawalpindi. She completed her PhD in application of ICTs from King's College London. Dr. Farhana remained associated with Punjab Higher Education Commission as a trainer from many months, and she is an excellent researcher. A number of research publications are on her credit, and she conducted a number of training workshops with PHEC and other institutions as well. With this, I would request Dr. Farhana to please take over and start the session. Madam, over to you.
Thank you very much, Asif, for this introduction and giving me this opportunity. I always be very willing and enjoy this sharing and discussing with all the participants. So, Assalamu alaikum, dear participants.
Walaikum assalam.
So, hope my voice is clear. You can hear me all.
Yes.
Sabko meri awaaz aa rahi hai na? Haan. So today, as Asif Sahab has told, that we are in a phase of transition from face-to-face to the online. So that is not our choice. Basically, we have to do that, keeping in view this current situation. So, so keeping that view in, first of all, as a teacher, we need to understand and we need to realize this: that online teaching is not the same as face-to-face teaching. And I also believe that while shifting from this online mode from the face-to-face, we are all, so me also, you and the students as well, we are also facing many challenges, the problems and all that. So the point is that we don't have to always say that this is the problem, this is the issue, and this could not be done, and this is whatever, so and so forth. So we need to find out the possible way out. Because we have to carry out our work, and from the March 2020, so we are carrying out this online activity with our students. So we really have to think very optimistically that what is the way out, because I believe and I also know that all of you are really used to this face-to-face, and then we are very comfortable with that face-to-face teaching and learning because we are used to of it. But when we have to shift to this mode, then we need to learn what are the possible solutions and what are the possible ways through which we can improve our teaching and learning. And also we need to understand that how we can plan our teaching and plan our learning materials and resources for our students in the online mode. So that is what the focus of today's session. And I'll introduce you some of the educational websites or platform which are there for us and which are very easy to search on in order to gain skills, in order to gain know-how, how the online courses they are being taught. So basically this internet and this worldwide connectivity, actually maybe there are some problems as well, but there are some blessings as well, that we have access to many. The main point is that we need to know, okay, where are those resources. There are numerous, and we can't count even them, okay, numerous resources, materials, they are available online. So if we utilize them effectively into our teaching, online teaching, so we could be very effective teachers, and we could be satisfy our learners, which are on the other side, our students. So today's session is about the teaching and learning platforms. I'm going to share my screen now. Hope my screen is visible to all. आप सबको screen
It is.
Yes, yes.
okay. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am,
online,
it is.
so this session is about online teaching and learning platforms and the resources which are available. And I think if we just look into them, so we found many useful things for us. So first of all, I really want to have a very interactive session. I don't want to. I know I'm not in a kind of a thing. So please feel free to ask any question, and I'm also used to ask you question as well. So please be vigilant and respond accordingly. What are your experiences and what's what? So my first question before I formally begin, what is online education? So based on your experience, based on your knowledge, so you can say anything what is in your mind. There is no right and wrong question answer. Sorry. And moreover, you can
all,
respond in any language.
all the information available on net related to our curriculum and studies is available online, you can say. Ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes. You're right.
Ma'am,
Anything else? The,
ma'am, distance education.
yes, distance education. Yes, one of the form of distance education. Yes.
Distance education with the help of technology using
Yes.
laptop
Yes.
computers.
Yes. Good. Good. So distance education with the help of technology. Yes. Any other thought? Any other thing? So online education is basically, if we look into the literature and the other things, so that is how it appears that online education is a flexible instructional delivery system that encompasses any kind of learning that takes place via the internet. So internet is a key. So without internet, I think we can't even think of having this online education. So any delivery system, any mode which took place through the internet. So online learning gives educators an opportunity to reach students who may not be able to enroll in a traditional classroom course, and support students who need to work on their own schedule and at their own pace. So this is one of the you can say advantage or of the online education, that anyone sitting in any part of the country, any part of the world can enroll with you as a student, and you can help those students in their teaching and learning process. Then online education is with the increased availability of the internet and the computer technology. Students are able to access information anytime, any place that would normally be available only through the traditional classroom. So this is actually how we are looking at this, that with having this WWW, World Wide Web, that has really changed the entire system and the setup of the world. So by having this with us, this World Wide Web, we started calling this as a global village. The entire earth and entire earth started calling it global village. Global village in a sense that now we are having the connectivity, fast connectivity, and we can access to the lots and lots of information. So keeping that view in, when there are lots of information, they are available on the internet. So same is the case that students, they also have access. It's not the only teachers who has the access. Students also have access to those information. So that means in as compared to the traditional classroom, where the teacher is the sole source of the information or the knowledge for the student, now the students, they can access information at their own and anywhere, any place. So otherwise, if we look into our existing or the traditional classroom where the teacher is there, so student always wait for the teacher to to inform them and to deliver a lecture and then keep on give some notes and kind of a stuff. So this is not the case. So that means one of the challenge for us, I always say it's a challenge for us as a teacher, where the students have access to the information. So now how to engage them, how to involve them into their learning process. So, so this is not the case that in case of the online education, we expect students they sit just quietly in front of us and that's wait. But we are saying maybe we ask some question, they ask some question, and that's it. That is not the case. So even the students, when they have access to the information, based on their access, based on this, they can search the information at their own. They can challenge us many times. So studies have shown that the students learn just as effectively in an online classroom as they do in the traditional classroom. So this is again one of the points which is currently our concern. The way students they are learning in face-to-face is not the case in case education. जैसे हम ये कहते हैं कि जी जैसे फेस टू फेस में होता है, ऑनलाइन में नहीं है, स्टूडेंट इन्वॉल्व नहीं करते, पार्टिसिपेट नहीं होते, काइंड ऑफ स्टफ. But this is new to us, not to the many countries who are already offering many courses online. So this is the practice in many universities and the many colleges and the schools as well in many countries, that they used to offer 1 or 2 online courses in their face-to-face setting as well. So based on this, they have conducted a study because people, they have this concern that the face-to-face education is better, or in case of the online learning, itni achhi nahi hoti hai. So in that case, they have conducted the research and come to the conclusion, come to the results that the students can learn as effectively in online classroom as in case of the traditional classroom. So there is no difference, or maybe they could learn better as compared to the face-to-face classroom. So in what happened, how this, what are the different components of the online education? So it's basically when we use this electronic media and information and communication technology in education, and it use the digital notes. In case of online education, what we have, the digital notes, online notes, we used to send them, and then we have ebooks. So it's not possible to for the students sitting at home to access the hard copied books from the library. So we can utilize ebooks, and we can also send our students, or they can get benefit of ebooks. And I tell you that since the March 2020, there are many publishers, many libraries, many companies. They have given access to the ebooks, free access to the ebooks. So I have downloaded many books, keeping that opportunity, and make my a mini library on my laptop. So ebooks, they could be because the publishers now, they are publishing the e-version of each book alongside the hard copied book as well. So हर publisher अब जो है internationally भी वो e-version जो है हर book के publisher वो कर रहे हैं. So they are available on the internet. So we use teaching slides, as you are seeing my slides, and then video conferencing wherever possible. We can use this feature of the video conferencing, which can facilitate and help us to see our students and have those interactive sessions. And then the assessment, which is the most important part of our teaching learning process, that could be also very successfully carried out in the online education by giving them online quiz, online assignments, and the online test. Then, so this is how we can say that online education is. All these components and they are being utilized in case of online education. So keeping in view, based on your experiences, so I hope that you are being involved with online teaching since the March 2020. आप लोग पढ़ा रहे हैं ना online? हाँ. So based on your experience, my other question to you is, what is the difference between online teaching and face-to-face classroom teaching? Think for a moment, थोड़ी देर के लिए सोचे, and then anyone? Again, there is no right and wrong answer, so you can just say whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah, sure. Actually, once we are teaching online, because we don't have the facilities, the problem what we are facing while teaching video conferencing, you can clear the things through that, and we can send the material, we can take the quiz as well, we can check and we can return. But the thing is, all students are not uh, everything is not available to all students, like internet facility and gadgets and that. So all of them are not present there in video conferencing, or they are not exposed to these things like gadgets, or they don't have, particularly the girls, I would say, they have had the issues that they are not permitted to use smartphones or gadgets or internet, etc. In particularly in our word areas. So that is the major issue we are facing. They are permitted to come to the colleges. They can have physical conventional education, but online there are problems for them.
अच्छा, इसमें एक और ऑनलाइन में प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि बच्चे जो हैं वो कमिटमेंट और इंटरेस्ट कम शो करते हैं, क्योंकि जब हमने जूम में क्लासेस ली हैं तो उसमें अगर 40 की क्लास है तो हार्डली 10 to 15 बच्चे जो हैं वो अटेंडेंस उनकी होती है, बाकी नहीं होती। लेकिन जब पेपर होता है तो सारे बच्चे वहाँ पे मौजूद होते हैं,
आ जाते हैं।
जब बच्चों की इंटरेस्ट और कमिटमेंट का भी बड़ा रोल है।
हाँ, ठीक हो गया जी। Anyone else?
Ma'am, I would like to share something.
Yes.
First of all, there is a universe of knowledge available for us as well as for students to look at. It is the responsibility of the teachers actually to create an interest among the students how to use this new gadgets, this new mode of education. And if teachers are uh, concerned and they make an interest among students, I think students will also respond equally.
Yes, yes, you're right, very right, very right. I agree. Yes, anyone else? कोई और भी कुछ कहना चाह रहा था?
यस मैम, जो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस हैं उसमें टीचर का कंट्रोल नहीं होता कि आप नहीं ऑब्जर्व कर सकते कि स्टूडेंट पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा है, एक्टिव लिसनर है, नहीं है। ये सबसे बड़ा जो मुझे ड्रॉबैक लगता है ऑनलाइन क्लासेस का, कि आप स्टूडेंट और क्लास को कंट्रोल नहीं, आपका टीचर का अथॉरिटेटिव रोल नहीं होता इसमें। टीचर नहीं होता, वो एक कंसल्टेंट के तौर पे काम करता है ऑनलाइन।
मैं किसी के और भी हाथ खड़े देख रही हूँ। Dr. Rashid Mahmood, I think, have you shared before?
मैंने शेयर कर दिया, मैंने कह दिया था।
Oh, okay. So, Sumayya, have you also shared? क्योंकि मेरे पास आपकी वो नहीं थी, स्क्रीन नहीं थी, तो अब मैं देख रही हूँ। So, anything else? Anyone to say something, or we move on? Okay. So what? Yes, please. Which can I say?
Yes, doesn't have, as one of my colleagues here mentioned, that they doesn't have gadgets. Even in my area, the students, their family members, the father or the brothers, they have mobile. We have to take their numbers in WhatsApp group, and we have to talk them first, and then they allow their daughter or their sister to talk to us or to listen the lecture. So these type of challenges that we are facing on daily basis in this system.
Yes, I agree. These are the challenges. So as far as the differences between online teaching and face-to-face classroom teaching are concerned, so these are few of the points which I have listed based on my own experiences. That first of all, what is the main difference is that absence of a physical meeting space. Yes, we all know that. Okay, we can't have our students sitting in front of us. Number 2 point is time spent planning and creating online content. So this is the very important point that we need to understand as a teacher, that we have to spend time, we have to plan our teaching and create the resources for our students for the online education. So this is a very important point. If we ignore this point. If we don't put our efforts on that particular point, that means what you are saying, students, they are not being involved, they don't come to the class, or they just come on the exam day of the exam or whatsoever. So that means they don't have interest. So that means that is from our side. Number 3 is communication via the mediated online channel. Yes, for the online education, what we need some online channel. For example, we are talking to each other using Microsoft Teams, we use Google Meet, we use Zoom, we use Skype. So without that, it's not possible. Just talk to each other. Then delayed feedback to the student. That is one of the, again, difference in case of the class. So when the student asks something, so we respond them immediately. But in case of the online, if they have some query or some questions, they write that question to our WhatsApp or email or whatsoever. So it takes some time to respond to them. Emphasis on visual design of content. So again, this is one of the important point, which is associated with the second point, that it is not possible now in case of online education that we just rely on the textual material only. We need to include the videos, the pictures, and all the visual things in order to make students, help them to understand the concept. Then flexible schedule, we can schedule our classes anytime. Then time online instead of classroom, ye bhi hai, matlab like we are all the time online, either we have a discussion or a classroom or whatsoever. Class participation replaces the attendance. Ab ye wahi wali baat hai, which we were saying, the student attendance jo hai bahut minimum hoti hai, and then we just have to rely on the class attendance only, not the students who they're actively participating. So then from all these points, for me, the 2 points which are very important and which we need to consider, that time spent planning and creating online content and emphasis on the visual design of the content. So these 2 points are important. So for those points, we can't say that we don't do that. हम किस तरह से plan करें, हम कैसे online content material, how we can include the visual design material. So if it is there, we just need to know where it is, how to access that. But it is now very easy. It is not difficult at all. So there are so many videos, there are so many images which are available on the internet. We can use accordingly. हम अपने उसके मुताबिक जो है उसको use कर सकते हैं. So in order to make that online teaching interesting, and also the online content interesting for our students, when the students, they have this understanding that they are learning, they have something interesting for them, they are definitely going to involve with the classes. So today's session, again, focusing on these 2 points, how we can plan and create online content, and also how we can incorporate the visual design content to our teaching. So for that matters, there are numerous educational websites or the platform which are there, and they offer different courses, and there are lots and lots of material which are available and which is free. If we don't want to spend money, we could do that, we can access that. So there are many educational platforms, but because of the time, I'm just going to cover 3: edX, Coursera, and Khan Academy. So I hope you were familiar with them before. आप लोगों ने इससे पहले सुना होगा definitely इनके बारे में, या यूज भी किया होगा.
Khan Academy
Yes, of course.
Khan Academy को आपने.
Coursera too, ADX also. Yep.
Yeah. So this first of all, we discuss this edX, or what it is. So edX is a massive open online course provider created by Harvard and MIT. So this platform is based on this MOOCs. MOOCs is an abbreviation of massive open online courses. So massive open online courses means the courses which are available to everyone living any part of the world, no matter where you are, open to all, and then online courses. And this platform is created by Harvard University and Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which are based in America. So it hosts online university level courses in a wide range of disciplines to a worldwide student body, including including some courses at no charge. So they really offer the good standard, good quality courses or free courses as well. So it also conducts research into learning based on how people use its platform. So because it is being created by the university, so the universities has one strong feature, which is the research. So keep on conducting the research in order to know how their platform is working and how the people they are using. So based on that, they keep on improving that. So edX courses consist of weekly learning sequence. So these are the courses, these are the short courses, not the courses which are of yearly or 6-week, 10-week or so 6-week courses. So they actually conduct those courses weekly basis. Weekly means they have weekly assignments, weekly reading materials, and all those activity. So they send you accordingly 1 week material, you read them and then do the exercises. When you finish them, then you move on to the second week. Each learning sequence is composed of a short video interspersed with the interactive learning exercises, where students can immediately practice the concepts from the videos. This is the point. Each sequence or every week, every concept, every topic, they have given the short videos related to that particular concept. Choti videos. So when you watch those videos, you also understand, the student also understand what that concept is. And also alongside the videos, there are the interactive exercises as well, maybe the quiz, maybe the assignments or whatsoever. So that simultaneously the assessment is also going on. Assessment is not only for the teacher side as well, but when we do those interactive exercises, so that is for us as well, how much we have learned. So the courses often include tutorial videos that are similar to small on-campus discussion groups, an online textbook, an online discussion forum where students can post and review questions and comment to each other and teaching assistants. So again, there are other features which these courses have. They have tutorial videos as well. Tutorial video means how to use those courses and how maybe some of the concepts which maybe they are not easily understandable to students. So they provide those tutorial videos. Then they give the facility of online discussion among the group. Then textbooks, again, as I mentioned. So they provide the e-books, online discussion forums with the students each other, and they ask the question not only among each other but with their teaching assistants as well. And then where applicable, sorry, online laboratories are also incorporated into the courses. So again, keeping in view that all the subject areas, they are not just the theoretical in nature. They have practical side of it as well. So for that matters, they have provided the facility of online laboratory. For example, in edX first MOOC, a circuits and the electronic course, students build virtual circuits in an online lab. So that is what they actually offer. Okay, they have built the virtual circuit and provide the facility of the online lab. Courses are offered in different languages. Why they offered in different languages? What is the reason? क्यों ऑफर करते हैं different
सारे उनके
languages
स्टूडेंट इंटरनेशनल होते हैं सारे ओवरऑल उनकी लैंग्वेजेस
so that
So that they can understand every language.
Yes, so that majority of the majority of the people living in different parts of the world, they can understand, get benefit to them. Then edX offers certificates of the successful completion, and some courses are credit eligible. So when you complete a course with them, so they award you a certificate. So edX also offer a variety of ways to take courses, including verified courses, where students have the option to audit the course. Audit course means this is one form of the course, which are called the verified courses. Audit course means that if it is a 8-week course or whatsoever, and you know that the first 2 week, the concept which are being covered into the first 2 week, so you already know them. You don't have to get enrolled with that. So you start that course from the week 3rd. So this is called the audit course, but this course, because you don't complete the course with them, so you don't get the certificate at the end, but it is just for your learning, you get some skills with them. And they are usually the free in nature. And or the work toward an edX verified certificate courses. So there are courses which on the completion of that course, you got the certificate, but you have to pay the fee for that certificate. edX also offers X series certificates for completion of a bundled set of 2 to 7 verified courses in a single subject. So in one particular single subject, if you think that these 2 to 7 courses, they are really helpful for you and you want to do all those courses, so they give you concession in their payment and all that. So this is how the edX, this is the website or URL of their website. But I'll also show you the website of the main search page, where we used to search the different information through that. So when we write edX here, this comes the edX. So click through the first link. So when you click to the first link, so you reach the edX main page or the main website. So this is the edX website. And then if you look into the top right, there are two things: sign in or the register. So if you are new user, so you first of all you register with a valid email if you want. That is optional. That is not compulsory. But if you want to be in touch with them and become the member with them, so you register with an email, and then whenever next time you sign in with your email and the password which has been given to you at the time of the registration. So this is the main page giving all the related information about the edX. You just scroll down and you got all the details about the edX, what it is offering or kya uske andar hai. Ab if you look at here, so these are the links where the courses are. So courses, if you click to this link, go to this link. So courses, here the courses are available. But these courses, they are grouped together in the subject area. And those subject areas which we also used to teach in our, and also we used to have the same things with us, like the management sciences, chemistry, biology, art, communication, computer science. So these are the known subject area which are being offered all around the world. Sab jagah aise hi hote hain. So but the courses, they are grouped into those subject area. So this is the first link, and that is the link for the programs in the degree if they have some. Then schools and the partners who are their partner institution, those who offer the courses with them. So these are listed here. So these are the partner institution, the universities. So this is MIT and Harvard, and then Berkeley, then University of Texas, Austin, Boston, University of Maryland. These are all good known universities, University of Hong Kong, and all that. You can see, just scroll down and then see that these are the known. University of Adelaide, which is a very good university in the Australia, then Queensland, Australia. So these are the university who offer the courses. Here we can see that their quality and standard of the courses. Then from here, we search the course relevant to our interest and our subject area. If you want, you really want to do some courses relevant to your area, so you go to that, whatever your subject is, either the sciences or the social sciences whatsoever. So you search the courses accordingly. For example, so if I see that what they are offering in education and teacher training, so just click to that link. So this is all the courses, or this is the main page of the education and teacher training courses, and it has all the courses relevant to that subject particular area, and they have listed them in differently. So most popular courses, and then all education and teacher training courses. For example, it's a TOEFL test preparation, how to learn online, basics Spanish, leaders of the learning, and introduction to family engagement, early childhood development. So you see, there are the many courses which are being there in this particular education and teacher training area. Mein you just scroll down, तो आपको बहुत सारे courses जो हैं, they are being there for you, or you just, when you have time, just search that according maybe जिनका ये subject area उसमें कर लें, नहीं तो अपने subject area में करें. तो अब आप ये देखें कि how these courses they are being there. They have one information for you. What is the title of the course? How to learn online. And then who is offering? This course is being offered by the edX itself. This course is offered by the University of, this is the name, which is the Spanish name, or basic Spanish ki baat, the university they are offering. So who is offering is there, and of also the subject area. So I think what just click here. I want to see how to learn online mein kya hai. So go to that and click. So when you click to that link, so you come to the page of the how to learn course. Ab how to learn course mein this is the information. Estimated 2 week. So what 2 week is, it's a short course, very short course, 2 week, and how much you have to work, 2 to 3 hours per week. Self-paced hai, progress at your own speed hai, free to start. So it is you don't have to pay. But if you want a certificate, then you have to pay $49 US dollar for that particular course. When it is starting, because it's self-paced, so you can start anytime. Or uske baad about this course. So this is important about this course, and these are all the links. What you learn, syllabus, instructors. You can go directly from these links, or you can just keep scrolling down. You can find everything. So what is this course is about? So designed for those who are new to e-learning. This course will prepare you with strategies to be successful online learner. So थोड़ी सी उन्होंने बात बता दी है यहाँ पर. Then if you want to have more information, so then click to this and then read those information, what is in the course. And what you learn, what skills you get at the end, these are listed here. And then syllabus, what is included in that particular 2-week course ke andar kya kya hoga. So welcome. Then self-care for learning, space, time and technology, learning strategies. Kya learning strategies hongi online, uske liye communication and community, and then this is there. These are the instructors who are offering this course. And then these are FAQs. If you want further information, wherever we want further information, we always go to the FAQs of that website, or we get lots of information there because the people have asked questions. So we also get some of the questions being answered, which are being into our mind as well. फिर उसके बाद again information about the course क्या है कि it's free, but verified में क्या होगा कि you have to pay in order to get the certificate $49 only. And then these are all the details about that the course. और उसके बाद क्या है कि if you have to start that course, so क्या है, enroll now. When you click to this link, then go to onward, and then you get yourself enrolled in that particular course, and the course they will start giving you the material of that particular course, or activities and assignments and all that. So that is how you can access those courses relevant to your subject area. And there are number of courses, under the subject areas available, and then you can benefit as and when required for yourself. So this is how the edX could be utilized for that. My question to you is, what you are going to get the benefit out of it? If you do a course with edX or whatsoever, so what the benefit you are going to get? आपके लिए कैसे फायदा हो?
इसका फ़ायदा यही हो सकता है कि हम अपना जो क्लास में पढ़ाते हैं उसमें हम एडिशन कर सकते हैं, उसकी टेक्निक्स को उसमें से ले सकते हैं, उसकी अप्रोच को ले सकते हैं, उसकी नॉलेज को ले सकते हैं, उसके विजन्स को ले सकते हैं.
Yes, excellent. Anyone else who could say what will be the benefit?
Definitely, it is going to enhance our skills in the area in which we attend the course. It will further our expertise.
Yes, expertise.
Ma'am, I can see slides.
What are the benefits? So there are different benefits we can count. First of all, when we do that course, we got those skills. We learn different things about, and then we can enhance our skills by doing those courses. Number two, you can add into it, it adds into your profile. You can write that yes, you did that course and your CV. One important benefit of it is that you learn how the online courses they are being offered. हमें पता चलता है कि जब हमने ऑनलाइन कोर्स ऑफर करना है तो वो कैसे करना है. The style, the material and all that, ये we came to know कि अच्छा how the online courses they are being offered. And the more importantly, we get access to all the resources which they provide us. The ebooks which they gave to us, all the reading material, or even the exercises which they gave. So that become our resource as well. We can use them in our teaching, learning, and we can also give them to our students as well. So these are, I think, few of the benefits. Maybe there could be other as well, many, but these are few of the benefits which we can get how we can get benefit out of those courses. So that was about the edX. I think if you have any question about that, so please feel free to ask. We move on to the next platform, educational platform, which is Coursera. So Coursera is very similar to the edX as well, but definitely it has some different features from the Coursera. So from edX. Coursera is a worldwide online learning platform founded in 2012 by Stanford computer science professors Andrew Nick and Daphne Kohler that offers passive open online courses, specializations, and the degrees. So this is again based on the MOOCs, massive open online courses, and there are the professors of Stanford computer science, again professor based on America. They have offered this particular platform. And then Coursera courses last approximately 4 to 10 weeks with 1 or 2 hours of the video lectures a week. So again, you see, if they make sure that for every week topic or the concept, so they have provided the video lectures with that. So these courses provide quizzes, weekly exercises, peer graded assignments, and online honor assignments, and sometimes a final project or exam. So they have very effectively covering the aspect of the assessment by providing quizzes, exercises, or assignments or whatsoever. Courses are also provided on demand, in which case user can take their time in completing the course with all of the material available at once. So this is the feature which is unique to the Coursera, that if there is a 6-week course and you have time, you think, yes, this time I am a bit relaxed from my busy schedule of the job, so I can do that course in a shorter time. So you enroll with that and then ask them, okay, I want to complete it earlier. So what they do, they give you all the material rather than give you week by week. They provide you all the material at once, and then you work. You can spend more time and complete that course in 4 weeks. The 6-week course you can complete in 4 weeks. Or opposite to that, if you think you are really interested to do that course, but you are really busy, so you can also same thing. You can demand them a 6-week course, and then you can complete in 8 weeks. थोड़ा ज़्यादा time लेके भी आप उसको कर सकते हैं. So this is the flexibility they offer. And then it also provides guided projects, which are short 2 to 3 hours project that can be done, and it is very useful for college school. One of the features which is different from the edX is that they offer a guided project, which is based on one skill, and that you can complete in 2 to 3 hours. Only you have to spend 2 to 3 hours, and you can be provided the guidance and also under the supervision of some instructor, and then it will be very helpful. Okay, you learn that skill in 2 to 3 hours. Then in 2017, Coursera offers full master's degree. So as compared to the edX, Coursera started offering the degrees as well. Alongside the offering the courses, they are giving the entire degree, like Masters of Business Administration, Masters of whatsoever. So they offer the degrees. And then they first started with the Masters in Online, Masters in Innovation and Entrepreneurship from HEC Paris, and then Masters of Accounting from the University of Illinois but have moved on to offer Masters of Computer Science in Data Science and Masters of Business Administration, both from University of Illinois. So University of Illinois has been offering many degrees, and then there are many courses which are being offered as a specializations as well. So you can get benefit wherever, whatever you want, that is your choice. So again, similar to the edX, the courses are being offered into different languages. Again, the purpose is the same, that many people get benefit out of it. And this is the URL of the Coursera, or you can go directly to the Coursera as well. This is again the main page, or the main search page of what we use. So when we write Coursera here, click to the Coursera and then click to the first link which appears, and this is the main page or the website of the Coursera. Again, in top right, join for free or log in. So because I already joined, so my name is there. So whenever I got in, so I log in with my name and email ID. So this again, on the main page, they have given many information related to their web platform, what they have and what are the different facilities and the features they have, the opinion of the students who have completed the courses with them, how many degrees they are offering. This is the 5,100 plus courses of specialization they are offering, 40 plus certificates, 25 plus degrees they are offering. So this again, if you keep on scrolling down, you get many information about that before you go into the course web pages. So you can get the information. Some of the degrees they have listed, the top rated degrees: Masters of Business Administration, Global Masters of Public Health, Computer Science, Data Science, and all that. So the main information about the website, and then how we search the courses from here, explore. Again, similar to the edX, they have also listed the courses according to subject wise. So if we can see here that all the subjects they are being listed: arts and humanities, business, computer science, data science, health, information technology, math, logic, personal development, social sciences, economics, education, governance and society, law, and all that. And then because they offer the degrees as well, that's why when we click here, so we got two columns here in front of us. One column is for information, and then the other is for the degrees which they are offering in that particular subject area. So you can again go to any of the subject area of your interest. Whatever is your subject area, आप उसके अंदर जा सकते हैं, or you can search the courses, or if you are interested for any of your student or any of your the young ones, you know, for any degree program, so you can also search here, because these degrees, they are again being offered by the renowned universities of the world. So you can go to any of the website, किसी के ऊपर भी जा सकते हैं by searching this. For example, if generally, so if we go to the health, so from health and nutrition, maybe we want to get some information about that, or so this is all the courses in this, and then first of all they have listed the degrees, all the degrees which are being offered in this particular subject area: Global Masters of Public Health, Masters of Public Health, Masters of Science in Population and Health, Health Information, or then so, and then the courses, the popular certificates in the health. So these are the different courses which they are being popular. People usually, and you can see one thing, they're all free. You can, if you are just interested to get some skills, so these are free. But if you are really aiming to have the certificate as well, then you have to pay some money, which is very nominal. I don't think so that they are very expensive. So if you go further, so these are all the degrees in the health area. sorry, not the degrees, the courses which are free, for example, Introduction to Psychology, and then Psychological First Aid, Stanford Introduction to Food and Health. And then here are the courses which are all top rated courses in health. Then recently launched guided project. This is what I mentioned you earlier. A guided project we have, which are 2 to 3 hours, and you can complete it in a short period of time. Or then all the courses, whatever you are interested in. So again, you can just keep on looking at, and then, for example, this is one of the course. Science of exercise, because today's we are all very conscious of our fitness, so you can see what they have in the science of courses, science of exercises, sorry. So this is the course and is being offered by the Robert Nezo, and then the further information about the course, about this course. So they have detailed what is about this particular course. Learners who complete science of exercise will have an improved physiological and understanding of how your body responds to the exercise and all that. So what skills you gain: training, nutrition, fitness and nutrition, and public health. And then if you further scroll down, this is the instructor of the course. This is offered by the University of Colorado. And then these are the students who have completed their views, okay, those who have completed this course with them, and they are saying what they found about that. And then when you further scroll down, you see the syllabus of that particular, what is included week wise. So week 1, as you have seen here, week 1, 2 hours to complete the energetics of exercise. So they have given the information about that. And also you see in this particular week, they have 8 videos, 62 minutes, 8 videos. They have given 1 reading and 1 quiz. So this will be the first week. And then the second week, physiological system during exercise. Again, similar to that, they have 7 videos and 2 readings and 1 quiz. So that when you keep on moving, so you will see that it's a 4-week course. And then they have given the detail, what type of material and what type of learning you are going to get. And then this is how the reviews of the users, they have rated it to the 4.8 out of 5. So that means that is, again, these are the views of the reviews of the users of this particular course. So this is the detail of that particular course. All the detail, and I would suggest you, before you decide to get yourself enrolled to any course, please read all these information very carefully, so that you can establish, yes, this is the course which I'm really looking for and I'm really interested in. So this is not going to happen okay, you just by just looking at the title of the course, you just logged in or just enroll yourself, and then then you found, oh, this is not the course which I'm interested in. So sirf aap title dekh ke na jaye. So read, please go through all the detail. And again, this is the right side. Again, they have given the short information about the course. It's a certificate course, 100% online, flexible deadlines, or it's just the beginners, English language mein offer ho raha hai. So again, all the details, then you can decide at yourself, okay, yes, if I'm really. So if you go back, then website. So I just want to show you short. Yeah, this is the guided projects. So up you see guided projects. They are on the different topics. Access bioinformatics databases with BioPython, and then SARS-CoV whatsoever modeling, and different on the different skills. I think usually, so they have the guided projects. If you really interested in some of the topic, you can go and you can complete that in 2-3 hours. That is what it is. And then top of that, you have all the degrees which are listed here. You can, of course, degrees are not free. You have to pay the fee for that. And then again, it listed which university is offering them. Imperial, for example, Global Master of Public Health is being offered by the Imperial College London. And you know, Imperial College is one of the top ranking college of the world. And in England, it is at the number 1. So all the university information that is about the Coursera. If you have any question, again, you can ask, or I just move on to my presentation. समझ आ रही है, सुन रहे हैं ना?
जी जी.
Yes, of course.
अच्छा,
Okay.
इसमें
Yes, ma'am, we are listening, and it's very good.
Thank you. So
It's
then the
really
third, so third is the
इसमें
Khan Academy. Third is the Khan Academy. Khan Academy is different than edX and the Coursera, because Khan Academy is not like that. Okay, it offered the courses which are being have some fee or kind of stuff, or it is being started by the Salman Khan, who is based in America, but he is basically belong to the Bangladesh, and it has been started by the 2008. And the important feature of Khan Academy is that it is non-profit educational organization. So they don't offer for the sake of money earning or kind of stuff. But I tell you, Khan Academy has an immense resource on the different topics of all the subject areas, different subject areas. So the organization produces short lessons in the form of the videos, and then the organization, how this Khan Academy was started. That it started when Salman Khan has, in 2008, he has provided, because the area of specialization of Salman Khan is mathematics. So he gave tuition to one of his cousin who was living in Bangladesh at that time. So through the internet, and he used this Yahoo Doodle images. So Yahoo Doodle images is a kind of a feature in which it shows you that if the teacher is writing in front of you on the whiteboard, ये उसका feature होता है. So after a while, Khan's other cousins began to use this tutoring service. So when one cousin found it useful, then the other cousins, they also started taking the tuition from the Salman Khan. So with the passage of time, it is getting popular. How it is getting popularity? That due to the demand, Khan decided to make his videos watchable on the internet. So he published his content on the YouTube. And YouTube is a free thing. So we can access anything which is there on the YouTube without any cost, subject we are connected to the internet. So because he has made the videos of his teaching, so he has published all his videos on the YouTube, because when he found that it is really useful, so by having this sense that other people can also get benefit out of it, so he published all his material on the YouTube. So all the video tutorials he has recorded, and then he started making the resource of it on his computer. So then later, when he has got many educational videos with him, so he has made his website. And then when he started his when he produced his website, so then he has also involved other people from the different subject areas. Then they make a group and offer the other subject area specializations as well. For example, he was just from the mathematics, Salman Khan, but through this website, chemistry, biology, and other subjects, they will be being covered again, but non-profit basis. The website is meant to be used as a supplement to its videos, because it includes other features such as progress tracking, practice exercises, and teaching tools. So when he made his website, so it has really helped them, alongside with his videos where he is teaching to the students. The other features are also well available, which were that progress tracking, practical exercising, and all that. So the material of the Khan Academy could be accessed through any mobile application, like through your tab or mobile phone or whatsoever. आप किसी पर भी इसको access कर सकते हैं. The videos display a recording of a drawings on an electronic blackboard, which are similar to the style of a teaching giving a lecture. So as I've told you, the video includes a teacher is giving a lecture or is writing in front of you on the blackboard. So the narrator describes each drawing and how they relate to the material being taught. Again, the narrator describe or explain as we do in case of the face-to-face teaching. So because they are the non-profit groups, so that is one of his commendable effort is that he has have distributed offline version of the videos to the rural areas in Asia, Latin America, and Africa. So keeping in view, having this realization that the people who don't have an access to the internet, so they can't get access to the YouTube or whatsoever. So what the Khan did, he has saved all his material on the CD and distributed to the rural areas of Asia, Latin America, and Africa. Then videos range from all subjects covered in school for the colleges and the high level. So different subject areas and the topic complexity of topic is also being covered accordingly. Khan Academy videos have been translated into several languages. It's close to the 20,000 subtitles translation available. So when you look into that videos which are there on the Khan Academy, so the subtitles appear alongside on the video, so that it will be easy. Both you can read and listen both. So that means make user friendly. The Khan Academy platform is fully available in English, Bangla, Bulgarian, Chinese, French, like the Coursera and the edX. So many languages this has covered, and also partially available in 28 other languages, mean not all the material, maybe some of the material. So that means it has tried to cover many languages. So like this is the URL of Khan Academy. So we'll see what is for us in the Khan Academy. You will be on the main, you will be on the Khan Academy website. So this page, as it appears, is not going to appear when you use it for the first time, because I'm already logged in from this laptop. So it appears to me like this. But if you click to the Khan Academy, because the page which appear will be the different. So don't get confused, because that will be the normal thing. And then that page will ask you, okay, in what capacity, in what form you are going to use this, either as a teacher, a parent, or a student. So go to that particular, select that at what capacity you are going to benefit that, and then you will definitely get this type of information there. So again, into the Khan Academy, this how you search the courses, they are here. You can also enroll yourself, and one feature which Khan asks you is about to donate, because this is non-profit. So if you really found it useful and you want that services will be continued, so you can donate some money, but that is your choice, that is not the compulsion. So you can search the courses from here. So click to the courses again. Courses or the reading materials in the different subject areas will appear like this. So you can see, and one thing which is different to the Khan Academy is because he has started from the idea of the Khan Academy has been started from the tutoring the cousin. So you can see here that the material, reading material is available class wise, grade wise, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, or to the small kids, and then also it also offer you to do some preparation of some kind of your international test, the SAT, LSAT, or the other test, and then some courses related to the different classes or the grade area. And then for you, definitely you check the subject area of your interest. जो भी सब्जेक्ट आपके स्पेशलाइजेशन है, और either you want to get information in any subject area. So it depends on algebra, geometry, trigonometry, pre-calculus, statistics. So these are all related to mathematics. Then biology, chemistry, physics, and then these are the courses on arts and humanities, history, civics, or humanities and economics, computing. So different reading material and the courses like that. Life skills as well. Careers, personal finance, so many information. So whenever you, at the end, today at the end, or whenever you get time, please do search them. Try to find out as much as possible from there, so that will be beneficial for you next time when you are preparing your teaching for the online. So what is there in college? This is where you can get information about the physics subject, if physics is your subject. So we know these are the different topics which are being covered into the physics: kinematics, dynamics, and it has further detail into it. Each topic has further detail. Kinematics और dynamics ये है, देखिए physics के अंदर है. Then if you go to the courses here, you can also select any of the things which are any other subject area, maybe the college biology. So this is the biology page in topics. So you can search the topic in two ways. Either you directly just scroll down and there are listed many topics which are being covered under the biology. One point. Another point, you don't want to scroll down everything. So that is the shortest way. And on the left side of your, there is another way of looking at के यहाँ से आप scroll down करते जाएं. So you can also select the topic accordingly. And if you search that, so accordingly the same information will be with you. So this is these are the different topics. So for example, if you want to go to the cell structure and function which are here. So cell structure and their functions. So in cell structure and function, so there are many, these are the materials which are listed here. You can see there are two types of icons here. This icon is for the video. It is a video, introduction to cell, and this icon means a reading material. So this about the cell structure and their function, we have 1, 2, and 3 readings, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos in covering the different topics of the different topics about the cell structure and the function. So for example, if we click here in eukaryotic cell, this is the reading material. और आप ये देखें कि इसके अंदर they have it is given all the information about the eukaryotic cells, all the detail, and plus these are the things which are further, you can click them and they will take you to the other information as well. So again, you see pictures, they are being labeled. So this is the reading material and all information about the eukaryotic cell, and these are the videos. Introduction to cell, for example. So video
cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotes are ones that don't have have some type of a notion of what
and
a
you
cell
can see
is.
there are the captions
you might
which are
already
appearing.
realize that it is the most basic unit of
A teacher
life.
is writing on the
Some
blackboard.
would argue that maybe viruses are even a more basic unit of life, but the organisms that we consider living, like ourselves, are made up of cells, and all living organisms that we for sure consider living are made up of at least one cell. So the most basic unit of life. For example, me, this thing that's making a video right now, I'm made up of tens of trillions of these cells. Now, a common misconception is, well, these things must be small, and they indeed are very, very, very small. Some cells are on the order of 1 micrometer long, and a micrometer is 1/1,000,000th of a meter, or you can say 1,000th of a millimeter. And so when you think of something that small, sometimes there's an assumption that it must be simple. But you could not be more wrong if you assume that a cell is simple. This right over here is a picture of a budding yeast cell. You can see that it's budding off right over here. But this just begins to show you some of the complexity of the cell itself, or of any cell. And we're in other videos, we're going to talk about different types of cells, different types of structures you'll see in some cells versus others. This right over here is a eukaryotic cell, which we will talk more about.
You have time, you can watch those videos in full, and then you see that how the teacher is explaining, as we are explaining in our face-to-face classes on the whiteboard or the blackboard. So this is all the detail about the topic, and then this is the assessment part of it. 5 to 7 questions about the cell structure and function. So there are 7 questions. Let's go. So one by one question, multiple choice. When you this is how the online quizzes you can give, and also the type of this question you can give to your students. आप इसको इसी तरह के patterns पे you can give to your students. So this is how the assessment part has been covered through this Khan Academy. So I think this is about the Khan Academy, and please search even material to your interest or like that. So going back to that is all about the Khan Academy. Actively integrated in the lesson. Up, what I want to say to you, this is my words to you. Okay, the digital resources, the online information, lots and lots of information is there. But what we need to do as a teacher is we need to have a right mindset, means or because we don't have to utilize or integrate all the information simultaneously you are teaching. No, this is not the way. We have to think that which is the more suitable and important information which we can get benefit out of it, and which could be effectively integrated into our lesson. So that we need to think on and search for that. So that maybe you find कि अच्छा बहुत सारा काम है, search करना पड़ता है. But देखिए, once the course is being developed, once the resources they are being developed, you can utilize it for the many times. कितनी देर तक आप इसको use कर सकते हैं. And then the most important point which you need to remember is, okay, once you get the habit of exploring the tools, perhaps taking one step at a one time and expanding your ideas and how to creatively use appropriate tool in a class, you will eventually see your transformation as a teacher. I've just highlighted this transformation as a teacher. Kaisa teacher who is becoming more relevant and effective in teaching content, while at the same time develop learners' capacity to be creative and think critically and become collaborative and effective communicators in the 21st century. What is the challenge ahead? The 21st century. The 21st century learner. Up when you do all that one by one, day one, ek cheez, when you started incorporating into your teaching and in learning and how to prepare your material for online, ek waqt mein ek kaam karenge, then with the passage of time, you will see yourself as a teacher, a transformed teacher who is really an effective teacher. The effective kis tarah se, in what sense? That who is going to develop learners' capacity to be creative and think critically. देखिए, actually तो हमारा target क्या है? What is our target is that we have to make our learner, build the learner's capacity and to make him creative, him or her creative and think critically. And also need to be collaborative and effective. जिसको हम कहते हैं ना कि now we are the global village. We can't work alone. We can't survive alone. We have to work collaboratively with other people in order to move ahead, in order to survive. So and then the learners who will be the creative, critical thinker and the good communicators in the 21st century. So that is all for today from my side, and hope you find it useful. And any question which you have, you feel free to ask or discuss.
Excuse थैंक यू वेरी मच मैडम, वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव लेक्चर। अच्छा, इसमें हम जो खान एकेडमी में स्मार्ट बोर्ड यूज़ हुआ है उसकी अवेलेबिलिटी हमें किस तरह हो सकती है, क्योंकि ये तो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है, हम
हाँ,
इसको खुद भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं।
यस यस, गुड क्वेश्चन राशिद। इसमें कौन, डॉक्टर राशिद ही बात कर रहे हैं ना?
जी जी जी।
हाँ जी। सो उसमें फीचर्स होते हैं ना, इनको समटाइम्स ये ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल होते हैं, मतलब ऐसे ही आपको समटाइम्स यू हैव टू पे। आप उसको, अगर आप यही जो याहू डूडल या इसको जब आप सर्च करते हैं, इट्स एन ओल्डर वर्जन है, मतलब कोई बहुत ज्यादा नई चीज नहीं है। लेकिन अगर आप इसको नेट के ऊपर सर्च करते हैं तो समटाइम्स आपको कोई भी फीचर, कोई भी सॉफ्टवेयर फ्रीली डाउनलोड कर लेते हैं, डाउनलोड कर ले और आपके लैपटॉप या आपके सिस्टम के ऊपर वो आ जाता है। और अगर नहीं है तो मे बी देर आर सम अदर थिंग्स जो कि कुछ कुछ पेमेंट आपको करनी पड़ती है विच इज नॉमिनल, लेकिन आप वंस यू बाय इट तो उसके बाद वो रेस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आप उसको हमेशा के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं। ठीक हो गया। फर्स्ट आप सर्च करें कि कोई फ्रीली अवेलेबल है। नंबर टू, इफ इट इन्वॉल्व, इफ कॉस्ट अगर उसकी कुछ ज्यादा है तो आप अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के थ्रू इसको बाय कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि देखिए ये फीचर फिर सभी को चाहिए होता है ना। सो दिस इज हाउ आई थिंक यू कुड एक्सेस, बिकॉज इट इज ऑलरेडी देयर, नेट के ऊपर होगा। ये वाली फीचर्स जो है दे आर अवेलेबल, कुछ फ्रीली डाउनलोडेबल है और कुछ जो है सब पेमेंट है। ठीक है जी। हाजिरा साकिब has raised
Yes,
hand.
I think no one among us have. Can I ask?
Yes, please say.
I have a question that actually I think no one among us have previous experience of using all these three platforms. So what do you think is the most convenient and close to our teaching style, so that we get most benefited? So actually I had previous experience of using Khan Academy for my children while I was in abroad for my studies and my children were at homeschooling. So I found it really good, but for the perspective of my children. Now I'm still looking at it for a prospect of a teacher. So I think, can you give us a comment of your personal experience?
Well, it depends, because I have introduced all so equally. If I can't compare, I can't say that Coursera is better or edX is better. They are equally good. They are equally good, and they have, like, because when they have developed the courses, they have developed the courses on some international standards. I can't say कि अच्छा Coursera के courses तो बहुत अच्छे developed है और edX के नहीं है. That is not the case. But it depends कि which suits you, to which site you got the information. When you look at them, you can find that each course is developed on an international standard. Everything they have, all videos and the assessment part and everything. So I can't name one or anything which I think, oh, this is something which is really good. So I don't think so that is the case.
So means everyone can do it personally and find out the
Yes,
best.
just take some time out और उसके बाद उसको search कर लें. So the things which you found that it is good for you, go for it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So any question further if you have?
Yes, ma'am, I have a question.
Sure.
Please comment on this. I am looking at this scenario that you are teaching us the online resources, and I'm thinking of the term that machines are taking the humans. Is the role of a teacher is being taken by the machines?
No, this is not at all.
I think that in future the machines will take the role of a teacher. The physical presence of a teacher would be not necessary. I am taking it like this.
Yeah, like so. Your name is Farooq, na?
Yes,
Yes.
Farooqi now.
So Farooq, this is not the case. I think till now, अभी तक की जो बात, present की बात तो मैं कह सकती हूँ कि whatever we do, whatever the type of technology we use, whatever the type of resources we use, but they can't replace the teacher. अभी तक की तो बात ये है. What
No,
is going to
digital,
happen in
ma'am,
future?
digital teacher.
हाँ, ये मैं कह रही हूँ ना, सुनने मेरी बात. So what
Yes,
is going to happen in future is you never know. क्या हो? अब देखिए, एक robotics एक entire वो है world है. अब वो अब with the passage of time वो क्या कह रहे हैं? They are saying कि robot could do it. So I don't know what is going to happen in future is कि maybe there would be some digital teacher would be there or whatsoever. But till now, what our practices are saying कि you can't replace a teacher. Teacher is always there. देखिए, ये जो technology है, what I learned till now, either during my PhD studies or whatsoever, what my experience say, what my thinking is say, experience is that yes, technology is there, gadgets are there. We have like the laptops, we have the computers, we have the many things, and then among that on the internet we have so many things going on. अब तो हमारा ये online वाला भी चल पड़ा, सारा कुछ है. But who is utilizing them again? How to utilize them effectively is again comes from the mind. देखिए, लैपटॉप ये सारी चीजें पड़ी ही रहेंगी unless and until you utilize. So it is
actually,
our
ma'am,
intention.
yes, you are right. Actually, my point was that should teachers change their strategies to develop some other techniques in their CVs to adopt those changes which going to happen in future?
देखिए, अब क्या है? What I am observing from my close circle, अपने circle के अंदर, what I am observing is there are many of my cousins, or you can say my nephew and nieces, they are taking the different degrees. But the moment this situation comes from the March 2020 onward, everyone is going to get some training for the online skills के ऊपर वो training ले रहे हैं. चाहे वो engineer है, चाहे वो doctor है, या कोई भी है. अब वो क्या कर रहे हैं? वो कहते हैं कि कुछ आपको you need to learn, you need to have those skills कि आपने online उससे किस तरह benefit करना है. तो उसके लिए वो ये जो short courses है ना, ये जो MOOCs, Coursera वगैरह जो ऑफर करते हैं, उससे वो ये जो IT skills हैं वो अपनी enhance कर. I've heard one of my nephew उसने अभी इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग में किया है. तो वो अभी जब तक उसको जॉब नहीं मिल रही है तो वो कहता है कि मैं आजकल IT के कोर्सेज कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज दैट इज द नीड ऑफ टाइम. फ्यूचर में यही कुछ होगा. वी एज अ टीचर, हमारे पास अगर ये स्किल्स नहीं होंगी, वी कांट यूटिलाइज देम. छोटी छोटी स्किल्स जो हमने एनहांस करनी है, अब हमें लग ये रहा है कि आने वाला वक्त इज मोर डिजिटल, इज मोर ऑनलाइन रादर देन द फेस टू फेस. So we need to learn. So for that matter, this is what the point of this presentation or this discussion was. The courses which are short in nature, छोटे courses हैं, how to teach online, how to learn online, ये skills हैं, ये हमें सीखनी पड़ेंगी अब. We can't avoid them. So the more we learn, the more we'll be productive and useful as a teacher. यानी आप अगर हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि देखिए जी हम तो फेस टू फेस ही पढ़ाएंगे, वही ठीक मेथड था, अब हमने नहीं ऑनलाइन पढ़ाना. दैट इज नॉट द केस नाउ. यही बात है ना आपकी. सो हमारे पास उन स्किल्स को भी सीखना, यही तो पॉइंट है आज की प्रेजेंटेशन का, कि दैट इज नॉट द केस कि यू हैव टू गो समवेयर. कोई एकेडमी ज्वाइन करके
मुझे जो असल में जैसे हमारे माशरे में एक चेंज आया ना मोबाइल की वजह से, और एक बड़ा सडन चेंज आया, फिर लोगों ने उसको यूज़ करना शुरू कर दिया, उसके कॉन एंड कॉन सारे ये सब कुछ होता रहा. इसी तरह ये एक सडन चेंज आया है टीचिंग के अंदर भी. कोरोना की वजह से हम सारे ऑनलाइन चले गए और स्टूडेंट्स ऑनलाइन आ गए, और सिनेरियो ही चेंज हो गया ना. वो स्टूडेंट्स लैपटॉप पे बैठे हैं, हम भी लैपटॉप पे बैठे हैं, और इंटरेक्शन हो रहा है, वो वहाँ से पढ़ रहे हैं, नहीं पढ़ रहे. मतलब ये टोटली चेंज सिनेरियो है. तो टीचर्स को इस हवाले से इक्विप कैसे आप कर सकते हैं? जैसे आपने ये भी सारी हमें बेस सब बता दिया है, ठीक है, ये वेरी गुड है. हम अपने लिए इसको यूज़ करेंगे डेफिनेटली इन फ्यूचर. लेकिन मुझे जहाँ तक ये थोड़ा सा सेंस आ रही है कि माइट बी इन फ्यूचर कि टीचर्स जो हैं वो मशीन्स ना हमें टेक ओवर कर लें, क्योंकि रेवोल्यूशन या एवोल्यूशन जो है वो इतनी पेस पे चल रही है कि माइट भी वो इसको टेक ओवर कर लें और डिजिटल टीचर्स जो हैं वो आ जाएं और फिर क्योंकि ये सारा सिस्टम ऑनलाइन चला जाए या वो इस तरह का कोई मैकेनिज्म डेवलप कर ले। मतलब मैं एक पर्सपेक्टिव के ऊपर बात कर रहा हूँ।
बिल्कुल सही है आपकी बात। देखिए क्या होता है आने वाले वक्त का, इस तरह से ये जो फास्ट टेक्नोलॉजी की ग्रोथ चल रही है, बता तो यही रही है, कह तो यही रही है, लेकिन आप ये भी तो देखें ना, उस डिजिटल टीचर को बनाएगा कौन? उसको भी तो बनाने वाला भी तो कोई इंडिविजुअल होगा ना।
जी जी
ही होगा ना उसको। तो देखिए अब क्या होता है आने वाले वक्त में। लेकिन ये जरूर बात है कि विदाउट दो डिजिटल स्किल अब हम सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकते, और अब अपने खुद भी सीखनी है और अपने आने वाले बच्चों को भी सिखानी है, और इसके बगैर हमारा सर्वाइवल अब नहीं। जी सुमैया कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं?
थैंक यू।
कुछ लोगों के हैं कुछ कहना चाहते हैं तो चलें। I think that's all for today, and thank you very much, and hope you find this session useful and you are going to utilize in your future teaching. और हम इसको करेंगे if there is no more question. So thank you. खुशरा कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं?
Yes, ma'am. Just I want to comment. We can say that the ways of communication has changed now.
Previously we just for the shopping, अब ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग शुरू हो गई है। आप सोचे तो थे कभी हम सोच सकते थे कि we don't go out and get everything at home. That is happening to us. So
yes,
time to change हो रहा है, but the point is the way forward is that we need to update ourselves. ये जरूर करना है। हमने इस बात पे ये एक्सक्यूज लेके बैठे नहीं रहना कि हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है, हमारे बच्चों के पास नहीं है, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के पास नहीं है। देखिए जब ये मजबूरी बन जाती है तो हमें करना ही पड़ता है, और फिर कोई भी प्रॉब्लम कोई भी इशू होता है देयर इज ऑलवेज अ वे आउट, दैट आई बिलीव। उसमें से निकलना ही पड़ता है, चाहे अब ये हम दिस इज अ ट्रांजिशन फेज। आई एग्री देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ चैलेंजेस, but with the passage of time, definitely when everybody is have accepted this is the mode of education for our children, so they are going to be comfortable with that, and they're not going to create any problem for us as a teacher. So thank you very much, and for your participation and all that, and Allah Hafiz from my side. Good luck for your future. Over to Asim sir. Ji, Asif sir, are you there? So my session has been completed. So would there be any other session or so? You had any other session today?
Yes, there is a
Yes, we do.
session.
Okay. Asif sir, or Bilal sir, are you there listening me?
Okay, Dr. Zahid Anwar is here from University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore, and myself and Mr. Mohammad Ghofran, we are basically going to conduct the coming session, the remaining session for today. I think we have colleagues from PHEC, they are not right now available with us, or they are having some problems with the connectivity of the internet. So we are going to start with the session on Google Classroom now. So I'm going to share my screen. Can anyone among the participants can confirm that am I audible and my screen is visible to you?
Yes.
yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Yes, it's visible.
Jeet. Do we have a questions from Dr. Rashid or Hajra Saqib? because they have raised their hand. If there is any question, we can answer it first, and then we can start with the discussion. Okay, so this session is about utilization of Google for the purpose of online lecturing or remote lecturing. So my name is Dr. Zahid Anwar, and I'm working as associate professor in University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore. And with me, I'm having the co-host for today's session, Mr. Mohammed. He is a lecturer in the University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore. So as the discussion was going on previously, I have not been able to be present for the whole session, but there was some discussion which was going on in the closing session, which I have heard, and there was this discussion going on the utilization of various online teaching methodologies and their pros and cons. So there are various platforms these days which are available to the faculty, which are available to us for the purpose of online teaching activity, teaching and assessment activity, and among them one of the possibility is to make use of this Google. So Google is basically giving us this platform which is named as Google Classroom, and this is basically freely available to anyone who is basically having access to the Google. And like any other remote teaching platform, this is having this is offering quite many benefits to the faculty and to the students. Among others, there is one very obvious benefit that whatever you are going to do, your working is basically you are working in a paperless environment. And while you are basically trying to work with Google, you are basically having this possibility that you are basically having a separate folder for each of your class and for each of your assignments which you are using for the purpose of that particular class. And this Google Classroom is further having this benefit that all the things they are basically easily sorted out into your Google Drive automatically. So the teachers, students are having this benefit that they are having all the updates in front of them. They are knowing that when any of the assignment, any of the quizzes, any of the exams, they are going to be submitted from their side, and when teacher is going to grade them, they are going to get the notifications directly, and all the things are very quite clear to them, and faculty. From the side of faculty can have a control on the things that they're basically having this information that how many students they have submitted the assignments, what grades they have earned, and they can give them feedbacks directly. These are some of the benefits. So the discussion which we are going to do today, that discussion would be basically specifically focused on this Google Classroom platform. So we are going to get an idea that how we can create a class while we are going to make use of this Google Classroom application. Then later on we are going to see that how can we add students to that particular class. After the addition of the students, we would be getting this idea that how we are going to float the information, how we are going to post various announcements, and how we are going to post assignments and other related activities for the information of the students. And then in the later part of the discussion, we are going to get this idea that what are the features which are available to the faculty for grading those assessments and for the purpose of providing feedback to the students. So we are going to have a look into the features which are available from both perspectives, from the side of the students and from the sides of the teacher, while we are going to make use of this Google Classroom. So what are the key benefits while we are working with Google Classroom? That it is quite easy to set up and use. And this is offering us a paperless environment which we are using. Visually, the interface which is offered by the Google is quite appealing as well. And all the data is quite well organized from the side of the students and for the teachers as well. And all the information which we are having, which we are floating, that is easily integrated with the Google Drive. And the communication, the two-way communication, the communication from the side of the students and from the sides of the faculty, and that is quite easily controlled and and can quite easily be monitored. So we are starting our discussion from the side of the faculty. So we are basically going to have a look into the interface of the Google Classroom, and we are going to see that what are the different features which are available to a teacher while he or she is basically making use of this platform. So this is the first you can say this is the first scenario where we are going to have a look into the Google Classroom from the perspective of the teacher. Later we are going to see the same environment, and we are going to get this idea that how the interface is appearing and how the information is being shared with the students, and how the interface is going to look like to the students as well. So in the start, we are going to have a look into the Google Classroom from the faculty perspective or from the teacher's perspective. So we are going to have a look into these features, that how we are going to create and customize a new class. We are going to have a look into this feature, that how the students are going to be added into the class, how the information is going to be shared, how that information is going to be shared and appeared in for the purpose of the participants. And we are going to see that how the things they are linked with the Google Drive. So right at the start, the very first step is to create the class. So for the creation of the class, what we have to do, we are supposed to visit the link in the classroom.google.com. If we are going to explore this web address, this would be the interface which would be appearing in front of us. And this would be the interface which we would be getting if previously we are not working with Google Classroom. If previously we have not created any of the class, and we are using this, we are visiting this web address classroom.google.com. So this would be the very first screen which would be appearing in front of us. But if you are already working with the Google Classroom, then and you have created some of the classes already, then there would be some icons for already created classes which would be appearing somewhere in this area. But if you are new to the Google Classroom and you have not created any classroom before, your screen would be appearing blank, and this would be the interface. And over here in the top right corner, you would be having this plus icon available to you. And this plus icon is the icon which is needed for the purpose of creation of a class. So if you are interested in creation, yes, is there is any question? Do we have any questions from the participants?
No, sir, you can continue your session, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the very first step we were discussing about the creation of the class. So you are going to visit this web link, and you are going to hit this plus sign. This is from where you are going to start creation of the class. So while you are going to hit this plus sign, so you would be in this would be the interface which would be appearing in front of you. The Google Classroom is going to ask you a few pieces of information, that what is the name of the class which you are interested in creation. If there are multiple sections, then maybe you are trying to name the section as well. If you are trying to mention the subject, and it's up to you if you are interested in naming any room for the purpose of the class. Normally, this room activity or the location activity is something which we are not mentioning or specifying while we're using online teaching activity. So the main item which is required is the compulsory item or mandatory item which is required is the name of the class. Every class should have a unique name. So if that is the main mandatory item which is required, and rest of the information is basically optional information for your own clarity. If there are multiple sections, if there are different subjects, and if you are using different rooms for different sections, then you can give in the information for those items as well. So over here, I have just filled in that information that the class name was randomly named as trainings, section was named as section A, and the subject for the purpose of the class was mentioned in this case to be workshop on Google Classroom. And room number was mentioned to be room number 1. There are no physical rooms which are we using in for the purpose of these trainings, and later on, while if you are using Google Classroom, then you would not be having any physical room. You would be doing your teaching activity remotely by using over the internet. So there would be no physical rooms. So this is the piece of information which we have entered for the sake of sharing a piece of evidence in front of you. And while you are going to hit in all this information, this is how your interface of the Google Classroom is going to appear in front of you. This would be the interface. Once again, if you are going to visit this web address classroom.google.com, and you have signed in into your Google account already, so you would be getting this interface in front of you. So one of the classrooms we have given you the piece of information. We have shared with you about this training, and I have created another class with the name of the workshop. So these are now two different classes which are appearing now in front of in the opening screen of the Google Classroom while I'm going to visit my Google Classroom account. So if you are working with the Google Classroom already, so all existing classes would be appearing in addition to the newly created class as well. So if you are going to have a look into the classroom which you have created, like in this case, I have clicked on this classroom with the name of workshop. So then I'm having this information, or I'm having this interface which is going to be opened in front of me. And this classroom interface which is open in front of me is now having different tabs. There is one tab with the name of the stream, the second is with the name of the classwork, the third is with the name of grades. Sorry, the first one is with the name of stream, second one is with the name of the classwork, third one is with the name of people, and the last one is with the name of the grades. So we are going to have a look into them one by one. So the very first tab, which is labeled here as stream, is basically the interface which you would be using for the floating any piece of communication with the participants, with the students, with the co-teachers who are basically added into that particular class. So any piece of information, any communication, any message which you are going to share with your students, you are going to post it right over here, and your students and your co-teachers, they are going to have access to that message directly. And you can control by visiting the settings options that if you are agreeing that the students are able to give their feedback, you can control, you can have a control app depending upon as per your own convenience, that if you are going to allow the students to give their feedbacks or you are going to restrict the flow of information from the students from your side. If you are not interested to get any input from the side of the students, then you have to go into the settings and we have to unplug or uncheck the options that the students are able to put their comments. The second tab which is available is for the purpose of the classwork. This is basically the tab where you are going to hand in all the class related materials. If you are trying to share any materials with any class or course materials with the students, like lecture materials, any PDF files, any ebooks, whatever the different other lecture piece of materials which you are using during your classroom activity, all lecture materials can be shared over here, and the same tab would be used for the purpose of creation of the quizzes and for the purpose of creation of the assignments. So this would be the tab which you would be using for the creation and then for the assignment of and then for the purpose of assigning the assignments and the quizzes to the students. You would be doing all this activity while you are working within this second tab. The third tab is basically the tab with the name of people. This would be the area, this would be the button which you would be using to have a control on the participants, and that who are the people who would be able to participate in your class. So over here you are having this option that you can control the participants, and the participants are for the two different types. There could be the participants, mainly the participants are the students who are basically going to go through the course which you are teaching, and there could be a case that there is a course which is being taught by multiple faculty members. So if there are multiple teachers who are basically running the same modules, then there is an option that you can add and the co-teachers as well, and those co-teachers could also be added from the same tab while you are going to have a look into this tab. We are going to have a look a little bit later on. Then we are going to get an idea that we can have a control on the role of the participants which we are going to add. While we are going to add the participants during the addition process, we can define that those participants which we are adding, those are students, those are co-teachers. So we can control their role while we are trying to add them. And the last tab is basically the tab from where this faculty would be getting this idea that have they marked their assignments. All the assignments are quizzes, they have been marked or they're in progress. And from the same tab, the students would be getting this information that what grades they have earned in their submitted assignments, and whether those assignments they have been marked or not yet, and if they have received any feedback from the side of the faculty, that would also be appearing over here. So up till now we have just seen the very first step. We have just discussed this thing, that how to create a class. We said that we just need to visit that web link classroom.google.com, and then we are going to hit on that plus icon and fill in the necessary piece of information, and that is how our Google Classroom would be created for us. And then we said that there are different tabs which are available in our inbuilt class, and now we are going to explore them one by one. The first tab we have discussed is the tab of the stream. That is basically the tab where we are going to exchange all the communications with the students, and whatever the message we are going to float, that message is going to appear in that very first tab. Then while we have created any class, we would be interested in getting this idea that how we are going to add students in that class. So for the purpose of the addition of the students, what we have to do, we are having multiple options for the addition of the students. So what we have to do, the first thing is we need to select the class. So we are going to be there at the home of home link at the home address of classroom.google.com. That is where all our created classes would be appearing, and then we are going to select the class, that particular class where we are interested in addition of the students. So in this case, I have used this second class with the name of the trainings, and we are just going to click on the name of the class, and this would be the interface which we are going to get in front of you. And for the purpose of the addition of the students and the co-teachers, what we are going to do, we are going to move into the third tab, which is labeled as people. And then this is basically the tab from where we are going to add the students or the co-teachers. And you are going to notice this thing that the class name is appearing. If you are having multiple sections and you have segregated them, then the section name is appearing. And then there is this information which is appearing, which is class code. So one of the ways to add the students to the class is to make use of this class code. We are just going to save this class code with you, and you are going to share this class code with your students by using any information exchange application, by using any email or by using any WhatsApp message or things like that. You are going to share this class code with your students, and students would be able to join your class by feeding in this information of the class code. They are going to search for the class with the name of the trainings, and while they are going to hit the join option, the Google is going to ask them for the class code, and if they are going to supply this class code to the Google, they would be having access, or they would be added into that particular class. This is one of the ways. So one of the ways to, for the addition of the students, is to know the class code, and you can adjust the class code by yourself. If you are not happy with the class code which Google has given to you, just go into the settings and select whatever your preference is for the purpose of the class code, and then you are going to share your class code with your students. Students need to know the class name and class code, and with this piece of information they would be able to join the class. This is one of the ways. Alternatively, what you are going to do, you are going to basically you can add your students by making use of this invite button. You're going to click on the people, and from the people you are going to get this information of the students, and you would be getting this idea. You would be getting two different options. One of the options would be that you are going to invite your students via making by sharing the link with them, and the other would be that either you are going to share this link which the Google has generated. Yeah, if there are three different ways. The first one is the passcode. The second one is you are going to share this invite link with your students, and they are going to join the class by making use of the link which you have shared. And the third way is to type in the email address. If you are having the information of the email address of the students, and you are interested that those individuals who are basically owning those email addresses should be the students, then you're supposed to write in the email address over here, and after feeding in all the email addresses of the students, we are going to hit the invite button, and they would be getting an email notification in their email accounts, and from that email invitation which they have obtained, they would be able to join the class. So these are the different ways that how you can add students to the class which you are using for the purpose of the course which you are running in any of the semesters. I told you already that students can also are able to join the class by making use of the class code. If they're having this information of the class code and class name with them, so they would be able to join the class. So while the students are going to join the class, how they would be doing that, they would be basically visiting this classroom.google.com, and they are going to hit this plus icon as well. While you're going to hit the plus icon, you're going to get these two options, that either you are going to create a new class or you are interested in joining any of the existing classes. So if your students are having this information of passcode with them, class code with them, they can join the class. They can make use of this option of a join class, and by feeding in this information of the class code, they would be able to be entered into the class. Then we said that while there we can add students, we can add multiple teachers as well. So if we are going to have a look into the people interface, and we are going into the teachers account, we can add multiple teachers by using their email addresses. So if I'm just going to share any of the class which I have created, and if I'm going to visit into this class icon over here, we are having this different information, that there are different locations, the different segregations for the purpose of the teachers and students. If I'm having some co-teacher with me and I'm interested in addition of that co-teacher, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add his or her email address, and I'm going to invite. That is how I'm going to add a co-teacher. And similarly, if I'm going to add the students, then I'm supposed to go into the students section of the people tab, and then I'm going to hit on this plus icon once again, and then either I'm going to share this link or I'm going to type in the email address of that individual to whom I am interested in adding in my class as a student. So this is how the real-time interface is appearing. So we are having this classroom.google.com and this is how the interface is going to appear. Those classes which I have created already, those are going to appear over there. Any of the classes which I'm going to select, that is going to pop up. If I'm interested in addition of some specialized theme for the purpose of reflection of the course material which I'm teaching, I can do that. If I'm interested in using some picture as a background, I can do that as well. So over here, I'm going to post in the class materials. If I have, in my case, I have created some quizzes. So those are appearing over here. So up till now, we have just discussed this stream. That this is basically the location where we are going to float any information with the students. We're just going to write in the piece of information which we are interested in sharing with the students and just going to post it down. And after the posting, students would be able to have a look into that piece of information directly. Then for the purpose of addition of the students and the teacher, we are going to make use of this People's tab. Over here we can have a control on the roles of the different individuals who could be the teachers, who could be the students, and we can do that over here. And this is basically the setting tab which you would be using. So next, if we move on, so we have seen that how to create the class, how to add the students, how to add the teachers. The next is how we would be basically trying to post different pieces of announcements, and how we are going to post different assessment activities. So all this we would be doing in the tab which was labeled as classwork. So till now we have seen the tab of stream and people, and for the purpose of the assessment, we would be making use of the second tab, which is labeled with the name of classwork. So Google Classroom is basically going to give you the place to post all of your announcements, and as I told you in the start, that Google is basically allowing you a two-way communication, that you can post some announcement and students, they are able to reply back to you on the piece of that announcement which you have shared with the students. But if you are interested in having a control, and you are not interested to allow the students to put any remarks on the information which you are exchanging with them, then you can do that, but you have to do that by visiting the setting options, and then you have to uncheck the options that the students are able to put any remarks or any reactions on the announcements which faculty or the teachers are making. So over here we are basically trying to share any piece of information with the students. Whatever announcement we have to make, we can do that in the Streams tab. And whatever piece of information we are going to add, if we are having multiple classes, and we are trying to post some information for any particular class, we can select, like over here we have just mentioned that we just want to welcome to the student to the class. So we have just posted the message, and then we are having these filters that this message is for which particular class, and this message is for the purpose of to be shared with students, or this message is for to be shared with the teachers, or for both of them. And in the message, if we are interested in addition of any attachment, and that attachment is available to us in our Google Drive, or we are trying to share some other web link for some information extraction, or we are interested to share some file from our computer, we can do that. So we are going to post in some message, In addition to that message, if we are interested in sharing some document which is available to us in our Google Drive, that can be shared. If we are trying to refer to students to visit some particular web link for the purpose of getting some piece of information from that particular web link, that can be shared. If we are having some PDF or Word file or PPT file or any nature of the file with us in our computer and we are interested in sharing that file with the students, that can be attached. If we are referring the students to some YouTube video for the purpose of any visual understanding of any piece of information which is being shared with the students, that can be shared. So in the announcements, simple text, and multiple piece of attachments, whatever are required, they can be added. And we are having this option that we can have a control that this message is for which particular class and for which particular audience. And after filling in all the required piece of information which we want to exchange with the students and with the teachers, what we are going to do, we are going to hit this post sign. So while we are going to do that, after hitting up this post sign, all that announcement would be visible to the students. This is how we would be basically exchanging the piece of information with the students. Next comes that how we are going to do the assessment, how we are going to assign different assignments and how we are going to assign different quizzes to the students. So what we are going to do, we are going to make use of the tab with the name of the Classwork. And as this is a web-based tool, so there is no need of a paper. So we are basically, whatever we are going to work, we are basically working in a paperless environment. So one of the beauties of while we are working with these online tools and different platforms which are available to us for the purpose of the teaching is that we can create multiple copies of the document which we have created. We can create multiple copies, even copies for each individual students instantaneously while we are working with these platforms. And students, while they have worked on the assignments and the quizzes which have been assigned to them, what they have to do, they just need to press on the turn in button while they are basically done with their working, and they need to submit their quizzes or assignments. They are just going to do the submission by hitting this turn in button on the Google Classroom, and this will submit the assignment or the quiz from the side of the students, and teacher is going to get the notification that he has received a quiz or assignment from different individuals. So what we are saying, we are basically talking about this class work tab. This is the tab which we are going to make use of for the purpose of sharing assignments, for the purpose of creation and sharing quizzes with our students. And this is also the platform where we are going to exchange any class material with our students. So Google is basically giving us multiple options over here. If I'm going to hit in the Classwork tab, this is the interface which is going to open in front of me. And then if I'm going to create on this plus sign of creation, then I'm going to get this drop down menu. And Google is asking me that if I'm going to create an assignment, if I'm going to create a quiz, if I'm going to share some study material with the students, or if I'm interested in reusing of an earlier post. And I'm having this capability with me that if I am interested in sharing, if I'm interested in organizing the materials, the course material, the quizzes, the assignments in different topics, I can do that as well. And for that, I have to make use of the last available button, which is with the name of the topic. So the different topics of the course, they can be segregated, and all the flow of information that can be separately placed in those topics. So if you are going to create a quiz, the quiz would be framed on Google Forms, and Google Forms is basically if we are going to create a quiz, we are going, Google is by default is going to make use of the Google Forms option for the creation and management of all the quizzes. So if we are going to give students any assignment, we are going to make use of this first button, which is with the label of assignment. If I'm going, I'm in the classwork tab, and in the classwork I'm in the creation tab, and in the creation I'm going to create an assignment. And this is how the interface is going to look like. What I'm supposed to write over here, I'm going to suppose to give the information of the title, that what is this assignment is about. Any instructions, if I'm interested in giving the student some instructions over here, that how what are the key aspects of this assignments, what are the key parameters that needs to be investigated, is there is any reference material which is suggested to the students, any piece of information students, and they have to do this assignment separately or in different quizzes, what are any such piece of information, any instructions for the purpose of the students. If there are any instructions, they could be mentioned over here. So title, then any instructions, then if I'm having the detailed description of the assignment somewhere with me in a Word file, in a PDF file in my computer, I'm going to choose that. If I'm not having any file and I'm interested in making use of the Google for that purpose, so I may use this create option and create Google Doc or a sheet or a drawing or a form, whatever it is, and I can place all the necessary piece of information for the students in those documents or in those applications which I'm going to choose. So once again, we are having these multiple options available to us. We are going to feed in the information of the title of the assignment, any instructions. Then we are going to, if we are having any additional piece of information, any additional document, any additional web link, any additional file, any additional YouTube video, we can add that in our post directly. And if we are interested in making use of the Google document or Google Slides or Google Sheets for the purpose of the flow of information to the students, we can do that as well. And over here we are having this information that you have defined an assignment, you have given the instructions, you have uploaded all the required data. Then is this assignment is for which particular class you are going to choose? Is this is an assignment which is for the purpose of all students or for some specific students? Depending upon the case, you can select that whether this is an assignment for all the students or this is an assignment for some individuals. How much points this assignment is carrying, what is the due date and time, and if you want to mention any topics, the topics from which the assignments was prepared, those could be mentioned. If you're having any rubrics you have prepared for the purpose of assessment of the assignment, those rubrics can also be added as well. So once all this information has been fed in, then if you are going to hit on this drop down arrow from which is on the right side of this assign button, then you are having this option that either you can assign and directly assign this assignment right now, or you can schedule this assignment to be posted later on for the purpose of the students, or you are going to just save it and you are going to use it later, or you are going to discard this assignment. So this is how the assignment interface is going to open in front of you. So assignment, you have fed in all the necessary piece of information, and that piece of information belongs to which particular class, which particular student, how much points this is carrying, what is the due date and time, and is there any rubrics for the purpose of the assessment of that particular assignment. And later on you are going to make use of any of these options, that either you are going to assign right now, or you are going to schedule it to be assigned later on, or you are going to save it as a draft and you are going to make use of it later on. So depending upon the case, whatever the circumstance is, you can decide accordingly. If you just want to assign this assignment to the students, what you are going to do, you are just going to hit on the assign button, and students would be getting information in their accounts that this assignment has been shared by the teacher with this due date and with these many grade points. So if you have created an assignment and you have assigned an assignment like over here, I have just for the purpose of sharing an evidence with you, we just created a random assignment and hit on this assignment button. And later on, if you are going to have a look into the classwork activity, then you can by visiting the classwork, you can get this idea that how many students they have submitted, how many students they have still not submitted the assignment. So once you have posted the assignment, students will be able to access this assignment in their class streams, and the faculty would be getting this idea in their streams that how many students they have submitted, how many students they still needs to submit their assignment. So this is how the assignment float would be appearing in front of the students, and this is the piece of information which would be appearing in the faculty account. In addition to the postage of the assignment, they would be getting this information of submission. And then the faculty, while they are going to do the evaluation, they are going to get this idea that how many individuals they have submitted their assignments, and if there is a general message which the faculty is interested in sharing with all of the students, they can write a message and share with all of the students or with any particular individual for the purpose of any feedback on the assignment. So what I mean to say that after submission of the assignments from the side of the students, faculty would be getting a notification, and faculty would be having this capability with them that if they're interested in giving any feedback to any individual or to all the cohort class, all the class students, they can do that. After the students have turned in their assignment, the teacher will be notified. Teacher would be getting an email notification in his or her email address. And once the evaluation has been done, either by manually or by making use of the rubrics, you can return the assignments to the individual students. You can also give them the feedback in the form of the message as well. Next is that all the information which we are having in our Google Classroom, and that is basically linked with our Google Drive. So while you are going to work, while you are going to have a look into the classwork, if you are having, if you have created a class already, and among the class, in the class room, if you are going to visit the classwork tab, you will be getting this information of Google Drive, that all the information which you are having in your class is basically saved directly into the Google Drive folder. So whatever the classes you have created, Google by default is going to create a Google Drive folder for those classes. I have created 2 classes, so both of those classes, they are available in my Google Drive, and all the piece of information which I have exchanged, all the quizzes, all the assignments which have been assigned to the students, they are available in the Google Drive, and students would be having organization in the similar ways. So the classroom creates a Google Drive folder for each of the created class. If you're having multiple classes, you would be having different multiple folders in your Google Drives with the name of those classes. Every class folders will include different subfolders. Those subfolders for different assignments which you have created. Students submitted assignments will go directly into the assignment folders. Whatever the submission students have done, they would be appearing in the assignment folder. Now this was the first perspective. Up till now we were basically trying to make use of this Google Classroom, and we were trying to get an idea that how the interface is going to look like, what are the different tabs which are available, what are their functions, how to add the students, how to add the assignments, and one piece of information which is remaining, that how you are going to schedule a class. Like if I'm having a class later today, or if I'm having a class tomorrow or day after tomorrow, then how I'm going to schedule that. For the purpose of scheduling your class, what you are going to do, you are going to basically go into your Google account, and you are going to hit into this dot button, and you are going to go into the calendar icon. And within the calendar, you would be getting this information. You would be getting this calendar interface in front of you, and you are going to choose the date which you are on which you are having your class. So you are going to choose the date, and calendar is open in front of you, and then you are going to choose the time. If your class is starting at 9 a.m., then you are going to hit at 9, and this is the information which is going to appear in front of you. So you are going to add the title, you are going to add the guest, and the rest of the things are optionals. You're supposed to add a title that maybe this is the first. Online content, you are supposed to mention the guest. So you are supposed to feed in the email address of all the students who should be attending your class. So you're supposed to mention the name of the session. You're supposed to mention who are the guests, and then if you are interested in mentioning any description that what are the topics which you will be covering in the class, that can be done. If you are interested in giving a reminder to the students, then you are you people able to hear me? Again, there was some problem with the functionality of the internet on my side.
And now clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we were over here where I was trying to give you this idea that how you are going to schedule your class. So for the purpose of scheduling the class, what you are going to do, you are going to make use of Google Calendar. Once you are in the Google Calendar, then what you are going to do, you are going to select the date and the time when on which you are having your class. So you are going to select the time, and then you are going to furnish this information that what is the title of the meeting, who are the guests, who are the students, are the co-teachers who are going to be there in that class, and that's it, and you are going to just save it. So once that is done, and then you would be able to join your class accordingly with in the form of a video conferencing, and you would be having access to those controls as well, that who are the persons who could be the presenters, and if you are basically trying to have a control on the mic of the participants as well, all those controls can be taken care of. So up till now, the information which we have, the exchange of information which we have done, that was basically how to create a class, what are the different tabs which are available to us, how to add students to the class, how we are going to post the assignments, how we are going to schedule the classes, and all the piece of information which we were exchanging with one another, those were basically purely from the side of the faculty. Now we are going to get this idea that how the students would be getting this information in front of them. So for this, I am going to request my colleague Muhammad Gufran. Gufran, are you able to hear me? Are you
yes,
with
sir.
us?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Can you continue from here onwards for the purpose of this interface of that how the information is going to appear in front of the students? Please carry on from here onwards. Are you going to use your own screen for the purpose
Yes,
of sharing?
thank you, Dr. Zahid, so much. I'm going to share my screen now. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
it
it is
is.
visible.
Okay, thank you. So in the second phase of this today's session, we are going to explore the classroom, Google Classroom for the students' perspective. In this particular session for the student perspective, I will tell you how a student can join the class, what are the digital workflow, how the student can see the assignment, how he or she can submit the assignment or complete the assignments, and what are the digital communication, how a student can discuss something with the teachers, and how he or she can email to the teacher, and how the this Google platform is integrated with the Google Drive. So first of all, in the step one, how a student can join the class. As Dr. Zahid already told you that a student can join the class by using the passcode, the class code which the teacher has shared already to the student. So when a student is logging into their Google account in the Google Classroom platform, when he or she click this plus icon, he or she will see a join class button. So by hitting the join class button, a student can enter the passcode, Google Classroom passcode, and the student can request the teachers to share the invitation link as well. So there are three ways to join the class. Either the teacher can add manually the students to the Google Classroom, or a teacher can share the Google Classroom link to the students, or the Google passcode. So these are the three ways that a student can use to join the class. In the second step, how the student can submit the assignments. So while when a teacher assign assignment to the student in a particular Google Classroom, so this would be the interface a student can see. For example, here the two classrooms. So in the workshop classroom, there is assignment due on Tuesday. So whenever a student hit that assignment, this interface will be appear on his screen. So this classroom, this interface is showing that how a student can submit their assignment. So whenever a student hit the assignment button, he or she can see this interface. So there are the different options for the student to submit their assignments. Either he or she can use Google Drive, he or she can use a link for a particular website, or he or she can attach their assignments from their files, or he or she can create new documents, slides, sheets, drawings, anything they would like to submit for the particular assignment. So students can submit their assignment by all these available options. So once all the things have been added to the particular assignment, the student need to click on this button mark as done. So once the student hit this button, the assignment will be submitted and will be appearing in the teacher's account. So once the teacher has graded the assignment, the student can see their graded assignment. Like for example, this particular assignment, the teacher has graded the assignment, and the student can see their marks and the private comment on the assignment. So once the teacher has graded the assignment and turned the submitted assignment, the student may assess his or her grade on the assignment page, or students will receive an email as well for that particular activity. In the third step, how the communication is being happening between the students and the teachers. So as Dr. Zahid already told you that there's a stream option where the teachers can post anything, and the student can comment back attached YouTube videos and links directly to the class stream. So there is a two-way communication. It's just like a social media. So whenever a teacher posts anything, a student can comment or give their feedback as well. So for example, here is a interface where a student can where a teacher is doing a comment on a particular assignment. So students can communicate with the teachers in the comments box as well. And in the next step, how this Google Classroom is integrated with the Google Drive with the perspective of the students. So this is the interface a student can see in their Google Drive. So there are the two Google Classrooms. So for each Google Classroom, there is a separate folder in the Google Drive. So in any kind of in a particular folder, there are different subfolders as well for a particular assignment as well. So students and teachers may access the Google Drive folder in Google Classroom. Student may also access classroom folders from Google Drive. So both the teachers and the students have the leverage to integrate their class activity materials with the students in a Google Drive folder. So this is all for the two perspective. One is for the teachers and one is for the students. So now if you want to archive your class, for example, you have and you are and with your semester year, so you are going to archive your class. So for this purpose, uh, how a teacher can archive their classes. So I would like to share you this particular window. So you need to go to a particular Google Classroom, and you need to click on these three dots. So after clicking on these three dots, you will see there's a drop-down menu in which you will see there's an option archive. So once you archive this class, then that particular class should not be appeared in your Google Classroom front page. So that class it will be seen in archive folder. So if you want to permanently delete this class, you can go to the settings of the Google Classroom, and then you will select the options to permanently delete. I will show you in a couple of minutes that how can you do such activities in Google Classroom. So there is also a mobile app for the Google Classroom. You can use two ways. Either you can use a website or either can use mobile app. So this mobile app is particularly useful for the students and also the teachers. So you can see every kind of activity in the mobile app as well. A student or teacher may see the assignments, the quizzes, the due assignments. He or she can grade the assignment, or the student can submit their assignments while using the mobile app. So this mobile app is very useful for the teaching purposes in this digital platform. So students can attach photos, assignments, post any kind of information. So this is a particularly useful that Google is providing a platform for the digital for the remote teachings. So for any additional help, you can log in onto Google Classroom Help Center and find many other information as well. So this is all for the presentation. Now I'm going to start some hands-on practice on the Google Classroom. So for this, I would like to share my screen again. Please confirm, is my screen of Google Classroom is
Yes, we can see
Yes,
it.
it is visible.
okay. So you can see
Yes, it is
there are
visible.
4 classes in my Google Classroom. There are the 4 different classes. So first of all, I would like to create the classroom that Dr. Zaid already told you. So I'm not going to repeat it. So the thing which Dr. Zaid has didn't mention yet. So that is the rubrics-based assessment. So first of all, I'm going to select a particular class. For example, in this, I'm going to click on the PHEC training class. So after clicking, you can see all the available options: stream, classwork, people, grades. So I'm going to go into the classwork, And here you can see there is an assignment which has already been assigned to the students, and that is the topic of the assignment is additive manufacturing, and that is due on May 3rd. So once you click it, this window will appear on your screen. For example, only one student has submitted their assignment. So when I going to mark this assignment, for example, I just need to click on the file. So a separate window will appear, and here you can graded the student assignments. You can use either rubrics or you can use manual grading as well. So for example, this is the assignment that a student has submitted. You can give comments, you can add any feedback to the students. For example, here's the plus icon button. You can add any comment to a particular. So for this you need to highlight a particular sentence, and then you need to add the comments. For example, this would be the comment. You can comment any kind of information to the student's assignment. Similarly, if you want to grade that assignment, for example, in this case, I have already created the rubrics. So first of all, I would like to mention that how a rubrics can be generated. So for this, I need to go back to the Google Classroom. And I need to select any of the, for example, this would be the assignment, and for this purpose I need to edit it, or you can make other assignment as well. For example, let's create another assignment. The assignment is additive manufacturing. So you can create any kind of information. For example, the points will be 100. Due date, you can select due date as well. Let's suppose, and that is important information, rubrics. The purpose to create the new assignment is to see you that how a rubric can be generated in the particular assignment. For example, when I click on the this rubric, you can see three options. You can either manually create the rubrics, you can use already used rubrics as well, or you can use you can import the rubrics from the Google Sheets as well. So let's I need to click on the create rubric. So first of all, you need to define the criteria. For example, you want to assess your students' assignment on the basis of organization of the assignment, for example. So first of all, I need to write my first criteria, and then you need to describe the criteria description. It is an optional. You can write anything related to that criteria, but for the timing, the mandatory is to name the organization, name the main criteria of the rubric. So in the first case, I just mentioned about the organization, and then you need to mention how many points this criteria is having. For example, I mentioned 10 points, and then you need to assign the levels of the this criteria. For example, my first level is outstanding. For example, if the student has done splendidly in this assignment, he or she will get outstanding. Uh, he or she will get the full marks. For example, you can describe the title of this outstanding as well. You can describe it in detail as well. For example, my main criteria is organization. For the outstanding level, I just write that the assignment well organized. And then you need to add more levels as well. For example, my first level is outstanding and my second level is good. And you also need to mention the points as well. For example, if the student has the assignment uh, that is quite good, you can give them total points of 8, for example, and you can describe as well. You can make the description of this second level as well. Similarly, you can add multiple levels. For example, my third level is the assignment of the student is fair. You can add the points as well, and you can add the description of this rubrics as well. Similarly, my fourth level is poor, and for that level the points will be the student getting will be 2. So you can add the description as well, like the description I have added for the outstanding rubrics. So this is the first criteria, and if you have multiple criteria of your assignment, you can add more criteria as well. For example, when I hit on this button, add a criteria, here you can add more criteria. For example, my second criteria is content, that how the content of the assignment will be graded. So you can describe the criteria as well. You can give the points. For example, my first level is outstanding. And the same, you can add the points and all the things we have done so far, like we did in the previous criteria. So here, so like this, you can add different criteria. Similarly, if you want to more criteria, you just need to click on it. Or if you want to add sub level criteria, you just need to hit this plus sign, and here you can add the different criteria as well. So this is all that how can you add rubrics in your Google Classroom for a particular assignment. This is very easy. These rubrics are very useful in order to grade the assignments. So for this, I'm going back to the particular assignment. Okay, so I want to grade this assignment. For example, the assignment, I can see the rubrics that I already added. For example, I added the rubrics in more detail. For example, for the outstanding, I mentioned that good organization, points are logically ordered, sharp sense of beginning and end. So like this, this would be the interface when somebody adds rubrics to the Google Classroom for a particular assignment. So for the organization, I have 4 different levels. If the students have outstanding assignment, he will get 10 points. If the student has fair enough, he will get 5 points. Or if the students have very good assignment, he will get 8 points as well. So for example, in this for this particular assignment, I want to grade that assignment that the student has did outstanding job. He or she will get 10 points. For example, when I click on the 10 points button, you will see that the grading scheme already been automatically be changed. So in the second, now I'm moving forward for the content. You can see that there are also 4 options for the content. So here I would like to I would like to give the 6 points to the that assignment. The content of the assignment is fair enough. So I just need to click on the fair button, and then you will see that the 6 points already been mentioned in that particular graded assignment. Similarly, my third criteria is grammar. So here you can also mention about what kind of information the student has added, how he or she has used the grammar, So for the timing, I am just going to give the 8 points, and that is the criteria number 2. Good. So if you want to change the criteria, you just need to click on it. For example, I just need to click on this fair button. Here you can see that the points already been automatically been added to the assignment, and you can see the total points as well. So in this particular assignment, I have 3 criterias, and all the criteria have, each criteria have 10 points, and for the each criteria there is a sub-level criteria having different marking scheme as well. So here you can see that this student will going to get 21 points out of 30. So this is the criteria in which the automatically grading has been done. So if you want to manually grade this assignment without the rubrics, you just need to add the points manually. For example, here if I write 8, so this would be the manually option. Similarly, for the grammar, I can change the points as well. For example, I want to give the 6 points. In my rubrics, there are only 4 options, and there is no not an option of 6 points. So if I would like to manually add the points, you can add here very easily as well. So here you can see the total number of points already been automatically been graded here. So once you already graded the assignment, then you need to hit this return button. So when you click on the return button, the assignment will be sent back to the student. But before going to submit it, I would like to mention one more thing, that you can add comments as well. For example, you want to comment on the assignment about the, you can give the feedback as well. For example, you just mentioned that very good. So this comment will be appear on the student's screen for that particular assignment. So I would like to post it, and then I would like to return that assignment to the particular student. So after returning the assignment, student will see their already been graded assignment, or you can also change the grading as well in the later stage as well. So this is all about how to grade the assignment. Similarly, once you graded the assignment, so once you graded the assignment, you can see you can download the grades of the students. For example, I just want to click on that particular assignment, and I would like to download the graded assignments. So just need to go to the settings, and here you can see that there are 3 different options. You can copy all your grades to the Google Sheets. You can download all the grades on CSV file, or you can download these grades on your computer in the Excel file. For example, I would like to see the grades of the students in the Google Sheets. So I just need to click on that. So after clicking, you can see that the grades of the students will be appear in a sheet, and here you can you can download this sheet as well for your reference. So this is all about from my side, doctors. Now I would like to hand over this presentation to Dr. Zahid for finishing this. So, but before going to finish this, I would like to mention that there is a Google Classroom survey that has been created for the participants. So I'm going to paste that link in the comment in the chat box. So it is requested to all the participants to fill the survey.
I need to ask some questions.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
If you
sir.
have questions, you can ask.
Okay. You mentioned that we can. archive the class, but how can we restore the class which has been archived? And my second question is, can the students enroll themselves from the archived class?
Okay, I'm going to share my screen for the archive classes. For example, I just need
How
to.
can we restore it?
Okay, I'm going to show it. For that purpose, I just need to go into my main screen. So here you can see the options archived classes. So currently I didn't have any archived classes. For example, first of all, I would like to create an archive class. So let's suppose I'm going to archive this class. So once I archive this class, I just need to go into the archived classes. Here you can see a class that has been archived before that. So for this, you need to click on this icon, three dots. So there's the option, you can restore your class, you can permanently delete your class. So once I restore this class, my class will be appeared again in my main screen of my Google Classroom. Here you can see this class has been restored. So this is the answer of your question. I didn't understand your second question. Can you repeat that question again?
Can the students enroll themselves from the archived class? And who can delete the archived class? Co-teachers or the primary teachers?
Okay, the main creator of the class, Google Classroom, is the responsible to handle all such activities. So it is the control to delete or delete the class permanently or archive the class is solely based on the main creator of the class. So co-teachers and the teachers can use that option as well. So the second question you have asked me, that if a student can restore can unenroll themselves in a particular class, yes, they can enroll themselves, but that option is not going to show you. That option will be visible to the student in their Google Classroom, so they can unroll or can enroll anytime from any class. So any other questions? It is requested to all the participants that I have pasted the link of the Google Forms, so you need to submit that Google form in 5 to 10 minutes, and then we will conclude this session. Is there any other questions? Dr. Zaid, are you available to us?
Yes, I'm available. Thank you very much, Kufran. The session was really interesting. And if there is any question from the sides of participants, so you're most welcome to ask to participate in the discussion. And the feedback is really very important for us, because the feedback which you people are going to give us would help us to improve ourselves as well.
Kindly
So
sir,
share
अटेंडेंस शीट शेयर कर दें. वो बिजली चली गई थी तो लैपटॉप बंद हो गया.
Okay, the colleagues from the side of PHEC are requested to
जी सर मैं कर
note
देता हूँ, आप कंटिन्यू करें.
attendance sheet once again. Yeah, thank you. So there is another link which has been shared in the chat box, as Mr. Khan was sharing with you earlier. You are requested to spend 5 to 10 minutes to fill in that survey, because that feedback is very critical for us for improving ourselves for the coming sessions. Thank you very much for your presence and for your patience to listen to us for this 1.5 hour session today. That's all from our side. We wish you all the very best for your future endeavors. That's all from our side, PHEC. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to all the participants for joining and attending this informative and productive session. So that's all from our side. Now I would like to the colleagues from the PHEC to take over this session. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir, for sparing your time. And hopefully we will engage you soon, inshallah, sir. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, participant, that's all from our side. Please mark your attendance and the feedback regarding the resource person. There is only one attendance today of the morning time. And now it's all over for the first week. And please be there on Monday at 10 a.m. We will send the schedule on your email as well. So please be there on Monday at 10 a.m. for the first session. Thank you. Still किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन है तो मुझसे पूछ सकता है. ओके नो प्रॉब्लम. एंड पार्टिसिपेंट जो मैंने प्रेजेंटेशन सेंड की है वो सारी नहीं है, कुछ जो अवेलेबल थी मैंने सेंड कर दी है, बाकी हम सोर्स पर्सन से कलेक्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. जैसे वो भी मुझे रिसीव होती हैं तो वो मैं आपको सेंड कर दूंगा. सो दैट ओके मैम. ओके पार्टिसिपेंट, टेक केयर. अल्लाह हाफिज. अल्लाह हाफिज. प्लीज बी देयर ऑन मंडे एट 10 a.m. We will send the email. Okay, thank you.